Now let us see the sixth assumption of the crystal field theory. The sixth assumption is the valence electrons of the central metal ion will be repelled by the negative field of the ligands. Therefore, these electrons occupy those d orbitals which have their lobes away from the direction of the ligands. For example, if you consider the hexacyanoferrate 2 ion complex ion, now in this case the central metal ion is Fe and its characteristic electron configuration is 3d6 4s2. Now in this complex ion, the Fe is present in +2 oxidation state. Therefore, this characteristic electron configuration is 3d6 4s0. Now these 6 electrons are present in d orbital and these d orbitals are present in metal ion. Now during complex formation, as the ligand approaches the central metal ion, that is in this case as the cyanide ion approaches the central metal ion, that is Fe, there exists a electrostatic force of attraction between these two ions, because according to crystal field theory, ligand is considered as a negatively charged ion, that is point charge, whereas metal ion is considered as a positive ion of charge equal to its oxidation state. Now since the electrostatic force of attraction exists between these two, metal ion and the ligand, at the same time there exists a repulsion between the electrons present in the central metal ion and the negative field from the ligand. This is the sixth assumption of the crystal field theory, that is valence electrons of the metal ion will be repelled by negative field of the ligands. Therefore, these electrons will occupy those d orbitals which have their lobes away from the direction of the ligands. So that means as the repulsion occurs between the negative ligand field and electrons of the central metal ion, therefore, as a result of this one, these electrons will try to occupy those d orbitals whose lobes are away from the direction of the ligand. Therefore, as a result of this one, these set of 5 d orbitals are going to split into different sets of orbitals having different energy, which we are going to see in the next assumption of the crystal field theory. That is, the seventh assumption of crystal field theory is, in a free gaseous state, the d orbitals on the metal ion are in a degenerate state. That is, in a free gaseous state, the d orbitals on the metal atom are in a degenerate state. That is, all the 5 d orbitals are having same energy and hence called as degenerate d orbitals. But during complex formation, when ligands surround the central metal ion, these d orbital degeneracy will be destroyed and these orbitals will now have different energies. Thus, d orbitals will split into different sets of orbitals which are having different amount of energy. This is a very important assumption of the crystal field theory. Let us study this assumption in detail. Now, that is the seventh assumption. In a free gaseous state, the d orbitals on the metal atom are in a degenerate state. Now the question comes, what do you mean by degenerate state? Now in a free metal ion, the free metal atom means before complex formation. For example, if you consider any metal, it consists of 5 d orbitals, namely dxy, dyz, dxz and dx square minus y square and dz square orbitals. Now in the before complex formation, all the 5 d orbitals are having same amount of energy. That means all the 5 orbitals are associated with the same amount of energy. Now such type of orbitals which have same amount of energy, which have associated with same amount of energy are called as degenerate orbitals. Therefore, in a free metal, the d orbitals are in a degenerate state. We call this one as a degenerate state, means all the 5 d orbitals are having same amount of energy. This degeneracy will remain as it is only in 2 conditions. First condition is in absence of ligands, that is before complex formation, and in presence of spherical ligand field. Only in these 2 conditions the degeneration of the d orbital will remain. That means in the first case, in absence of ligand means before complex formation there is no negative ligand, there is no ligand approach towards the central metal ion. Therefore, there is no negative field towards the central metal ion. Therefore, hence there is no repulsion among the orbitals. Okay. In the second case, when the in presence of a symmetrically spherical ligand field, That means during complex formation, if for example if you consider this metal is surrounded by ligands, and that ligand should produce spherical negative field around the center metal ion. If the ligand field is symmetrically spherical around the center metal ion, in that case what will happen? The d orbitals in which electrons are present in the center metal ion will experience the same amount of repulsion from the ligand field. So that means all the orbitals are going to experience same amount of repulsion from the spherical ligand field. In that case, the degeneracy of the ligand will remain as it is, but the energy of all the orbitals will increase. However, the energy of all the 5d orbitals will increase, because this is very clear that whenever like charges repel each other, there is an increase in the potential energy. That means when the ligand field is spherically surrounds the metal ion, in that case what will happen? The electrons present in the d orbitals are going to experience same amount of repulsion. That means they will experience same repulsion, same quantity of repulsion from the spherical field. So therefore, as the repulsion occurs, there increases the energy of that orbitals. Therefore, since all the 5 orbitals are experiencing same amount of repulsion, therefore the energy of all the 5d orbitals are going to increase. So that means the energy of all the 5d orbitals are increased. At the same time, the degeneracy will remain as it is. That means all the 5d orbitals are having same amount of energy. That means again the degenerate state is remained, because all the 5d orbitals are going to experience same amount of repulsion. Therefore, all the 5d orbital energy increases equally. Now the question comes, in what condition this degeneracy is destroyed? If the ligand field produced around the center metal ion, it is not spherical. So that means this case is degeneracy is only in two conditions: one in absence of before complex formation, and in presence of spherical ligand field. Now if the ligand field is not spherical around the center metal ion or around all the 5d orbitals, in that case what will happen? All the 5d orbitals are not going to experience the same repulsion. That means the electrons which are present in each orbital will not experience the same amount of repulsion from the ligand field. In that case what will happen? The ligands which will experience more repulsion when compared to others will increase their energy. That means the orbitals which will experience more repulsion, their energy will be increased, and the other orbitals which will experience less repulsion, their energy decreases. For example, if you consider these 5 orbitals in a free metal, now if the ligand field is not spherical, if ligand field is spherical, all the 5d orbital energy increases simultaneously and the degeneracy will remain as it is. If the spherical field is not present, in that case some of the orbital energy increases and some of the orbital energy decreases. Here for example, let us consider 3 orbitals experience more repulsion when compared to other 2 orbitals. In that case what will happen? The 3 orbital energy increases, that we are going to show like this one, when compared to other 2 orbitals. Now in such cases we cannot say all the 5d orbitals are having degenerate state. That means we cannot call these 5d orbitals as a degenerate d orbitals, because all the 5d orbitals are not having same amount of energy. So such type of a splitting of set of 5d orbitals into different sets of orbitals of having different energy is known as crystal field splitting. That means crystal field splitting is nothing but the splitting of 5d orbitals into different sets of orbitals having different amount of energy in presence of ligand field is nothing but the crystal field splitting. This is what we are going to study in this semester. Now in general, whenever we are going to prepare the complexes, in general what will happen? Either 6 ligands or 4 ligands are going to attack the center metal ion. That means generally 6 ligands or 4 ligands are going to make the bond with the center metal ion. Now with these 6 ligands and 4 ligands, it is not possible to produce the spherical field around the center metal ion. That means when the 6 ligands are attacking the center metal ion during complex formation, it will not produce the spherical field around the center metal ion. Therefore in such cases, that means when 6 ligands or 4 ligands are present around the center metal ion, they will not produce the spherical field around the center metal ion. Therefore in that case all the 5d orbitals are not going to experience the same repulsion from the ligand field. Hence the set of 5d orbital is going to split into different sets of orbitals having different energy. Now this is what we are going to study in the next video. That is, the syllabus is crystal field theory with respect to octahedral, tetrahedral, square planar, distorted octahedral. Means crystal field theory with respect to octahedral means when 6 ligands are attacking the central metal ion. When 6 ligands are attacking the central metal ion, what type of, in what fashion the d orbitals are going to split into different sets of orbital. In that, which orbitals are going to experience more and why when compared to other orbitals, that we are going to study in the next video. So these are the basic assumptions or features or the summary of the crystal field theory.